Prophet Wes, or whoever you want to call me, Brother Wes. I'm not in the titles. I want to talk about, if you saw my title, Mama's Boy. And, you want to talk about things, you want to talk about things that has been settled in your spirit. And I'm going to talk about a mama's boy. And I was a mama's boy. I am a mama's boy. And what I want to do is just probably highlight from personal experience and also use Bible to get you to see my point of view. Good afternoon. God bless you. Mama's boy. And I was a mama's boy. And the Bible tells us that us to train up a child in the way that it should go. And when they're older, they won't depart from it. And so how you train them, how you train your child, how you teach them, what you put in them when they get older, they're not going to depart from those teachings, those foundational teachings that you put in them. Also, the Bible says that foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction will drive it far from them. That foolishness correction. And so the thing about it is so important because every child, all of us, we are born with foolishness in us. We are born in sin and shaped in iniquity. But it's our job as parents, to shape, to teach them, to teach parents, to teach our kids how to live, how to deal with, how to handle, how to be prepared for society once they get older. And so the thing about it, but if that foolishness as a parent, if we don't drive that foolishness out of that child when they are kids or a child, when they grow up and when they become older, that foolishness is going to grow up and become older too. And then what sounded cute as a baby now is not cute. Now what was cute and it was disobedient, but now it's defiance. And so that's why you have to kill it at the root. You have to kill it right there. And with training is a sound. It's a sound when you train your kids, when you raise your kids, you're teaching them your word. You're teaching them to do what's right. You're teaching them to do what's wrong. You're teaching them to listen. You're teaching them to respect. When my kids go out, and I tell them all the time, when you're going out, you're respecting, or you're representing the name. You're representing me. You're representing the family. So don't misrepresent the family because you're an extension of the family. I tell my son all the time. And so when you act up, the teacher's going to think, well, what the parents are putting in them, because the kids are the reflection or the extension from what they learn at home. And so home is foundation. Home is so important. So training. And so what I've learned also as a mama's boy, with my mother, I love my mother, but what I've learned, the thing about even with a boy and a mother, see, as a son, your mother is your first woman. Just like a daughter, your father, he's your first man. And so your relationship with your first woman and your relationship with your first man will determine what you can do or what you're allowed to do, what you're able to do, how to be treated. And so oftentimes, boys, they learn how and what they think how a woman should treat them, how mama treat them, and also how they should treat that woman. But also with a daughter, they'll learn how a man should treat them based on how daddy treat them and how they should respond. But the unfortunate thing is that when dad and mama don't treat their kids like they're supposed to be, then they're raised and they're shaped how they're treated. And so that's why there's so many kids that when they're raised, they don't know how to talk to men. Women don't know how to talk to men, and women don't know how to, and men don't know how to talk to women is because of how they were raised by their mother and their father. So they're shaping, that's the training point. And so the thing about it that I want to highlight and bring out, parents, mothers, be careful of, learn how to tell your kid no. Learn how to tell your kid no. When your kid throws a fit when they don't get what they want, teach them and correct them right there, because if you don't teach them and correct them right there, they're going to think they're able to take advantage of you. They get away, have their way. So if a child is able to manipulate and take advantage of a son, if that son is able to manipulate or take advantage of their mother when they're young, in other words, their mother never tells them no. They always get their way when they cry. The mother might tell them no, but then the child might come back and look at them with some googly eyes or whatever. Then they manipulate. Then they learn how, well, okay, now this mama, she's the mother. She's the standard. She's the one that I love, the first love. And so they figure and learn how to get away with certain things with mama. So unfortunately, if you don't kill that, if you don't correct that because you're thinking it's cute, you know, and so unfortunately, even some mothers, they become married to the kid. And so they don't have a man. So what they would do, they would treat their son like the kid. And so what they do, they'll do everything for them. They'll buy them everything, and they'll talk to them a certain way, and they'll control them. They'll control them, and they won't nobody to come in. And so unfortunately what happens with that boy, if they're not never learn how to learn both ways, how to respect a woman, how to not always get your way from a woman, then once they become older, then they're going to use those same tactics and those same ability to get their way with women. See, because they're going to think in their mind, if I was able to get away with it with my first woman, my mama, then I will be able to get away with any other woman, because every other woman is beneath my mama. Because usually when a young boy, when he grow up, he wants someone that reminds him of mama. And so if that child is able to manipulate and to take advantage and to go away and have their way from mama as a child, then that woman, when she get older, she ain't gonna have a chance. And so what happens, that boy learns how to manipulate. And what he will do, he will use his words. He will use his manipulation. He will look at his mother, and he know that his mother loves him. He know that his mother is compassionate toward him, and she would give him anything. And so what he would do, he would use words to manipulate her heart, to control her, to deceive her, to say certain things to get his own way, to get what he wants. And so when that boy grows up, he don't know what no means. And so when the girl tells him no, to him, no means yes. And so what he would do, he would try to find a way to get around no. He would try to use words to manipulate through emotions. He'll find out what's her weakness. He'll find out her trigger spot. And so what he'll do, he'll use his words to get his way. Sound, deception. He'll use words. He'll use sayings. He'll use nice things. He'll buy things. He'll say certain things to her just to get his way. And in like manner with the young lady would do the same thing with daddy. If she learns how to manipulate daddy and get away with daddy, and daddy's the high standard. And so when she go out and when daddy's not around, she become older because she's not corrected. She'll manipulate. She'll use her sexuality. She'll use her beauty. She'll use her charm. She'll use her words to manipulate, to get that man to do what she wants him to do. And then what she's doing, she become a manipulator, become a deceiver. And so we have a lot of young men and young women who uses charm, very charismatic. So they'll use their beauty. They'll use their charm, their words to take advantage, to use words to paint certain pictures to that woman, to that boy, to that man, to that girl, to be able to sway him, to use it to paralyze him. See, the woman will use her beauty to cause that man to become paralyzed by her beauty. And once he's become paralyzed by her beauty, she's able to get what he wants. Case in point, in certain situations where when they married, case in point, the woman and the husband. So now she'll use sex. Now, if you take out the garbage, if you do what I want to do, I give you sex. See, that's manipulation. She's using what she has, her beauty. She's using sex to manipulate that boy, that man, her husband, to get what she wants. Also with a man might use the same thing, or he might use money. He might use his words to get inside of her head, to control her, to make her believe, to make her feel inferior, to make her feel less than him, to manipulate, to use her emotions against him, to start a fight, to bring up things, to get her to argue, but then use the Bible to beat her with it, to beat her into subjection. So those are manipulation, and that comes from the devil. Deception. The serpent. He is the great deceiver. If you remember in the Bible, the serpent with Eve, when Eve and God told her not to eat from the tree of good and evil, but then the serpent came and got to her, talked to her, got inside her head and said that you can't eat. You can eat from that. And so what he was doing, he was getting inside of her head. He used words. He used charm. He used sound. And he used manipulation. And so that's the mama's boy. And so just not all mama's boy like that, but it's old saying where a boy, a kid, a son will tell mama everything. Not always, but mama has control of that boy, over that son. He'll tell her everything, and then mama influence their relationship. That's not true in all cases, but you do have to be careful of how you raise them. You have to be careful how you raise her. You have to learn how to tell them no, because no could save their life. Because there are a lot of people, there are a lot of boys, there are a lot of girls in jail because mama and daddy, when they were kids, didn't tell them no. I'm done. The mama's boy. God bless you.